up, my lovely females? This is your boy Costa, your host for the evening. Behind me is Thomas Cub's house. Today is Thomas Cub's birthday, and this is Project X. Yo.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Out of My Mind, the podcast to declutter the mind and be good for the soul. I'm your host, like every night, Kathy, and today we'll actually be doing a diary episode. I want to kind of change the dynamic of each episode that I drop, so I am going to do, interviews with guests, but I'm also going to do solo episodes by myself, so I'm going to alternate them every other week. Try to bring on a guest every other week, and then do diary episodes, the other times I'm not doing that. So, today I wanted to discuss something that I've always had an issue with. I noticed that I never took control of my life the way I wanted to. I always was so quick to blame others for stuff that would happen to me and not really taking accountability of anything that I've done. So I would always just, blame somebody else or have an excuse for everything or say, this is why I did the thing that I did, or, it was always something that I came up with all the time. I'm not going to lie. So one thing I wanted to do after, my whole spiritual journey and trying to figure myself out in your 20s and everything like that, I definitely wanted to stop my people pleasing that I did a lot. So I did have a problem with people pleasing most of the time, just because I felt like it was justifying the fact that I can have a relationship with that person, and if I do stuff for them, and what did I sound I was gonna cry? Not gonna cry. I just feel like everybody people pleases, no matter who it is. You can say that you don't. You can say that, oh, I'm a leader, I'm not a follower, I don't do stuff for people. But if you literally think about it, everything that you do out in the world, even whenever you're walking into a store and you say hey, how are you? Or hey, how's your day? And then you mess up on a word, or you say something back, you're like, shit, why did I say that? That's literally people pleasing, because now you're thinking about yourself. You're double questioning yourself, because you're like, oh, did that person take it in a weird way? Did they see that I stuttered? Did they do this? Did they do that? Did they saw how I looked? So now you're trying to make up for what you did by pleasing the person, if that makes sense. So you're going to go and say, oh, hey, how are you? The next time you see them, you're going to change your posture, you're going to change the way you talk, you're going to change everything about you, so you can be able to, next time you see that person, or next time you go into that store, or next time you interact with anybody else, you can be like, okay, I know how to do this, so if I do it again, I know that that's going to make that person feel good, and then that's still people pleasing. So if you didn't know, now you know that's people pleasing. And it's only a problem when you do it by default. So I used to do it a lot. Anytime anybody called me, I was so quick to go save somebody. I wanted to be everybody's safety net. I was so quick to just oh my God, you need something? All right, I'll do it. I was the first person to be all right, I'll do it. I don't care. I'll figure out my stuff on my own time. But other stuff, I was yeah, no worries. I got it. You don't worry. Because you know what? Kathy's coming to save the day, always. But I needed to learn how to stop that, because you can't do that for everybody. Unfortunately, you can't, because if you continue to do that with people, then they constantly take advantage of you. They constantly know your weaknesses. They constantly know what you're doing. They constantly know, okay, if I ask for this, I know she's going to say yeah. Or if the favor thing pops up and somebody does, well, remember when I did that for you? And that's the one that always gets me. That's the one that gets me good. And I didn't know that was people pleasing, but literally, if you ask somebody for a favor and you tell them oh, remember when you did this for me though? And then they'd be like, okay. And then you're like, well, I kind of want that back. And it's just damn, so you want me to please you on top of doing something for you, and on top of everything else that I've done in this relationship? That goes for any relationship. I'm just saying relationship as a general statement. That goes for anything that has to do with two people that are trying to either create a bond or friendship or anything like that. If you don't take power back in yourself and actually put boundaries down with people and let them know hey, I can't do this for you, but here are some other ultimatums or other choices that you can pick through, so I can help you in a way that benefits me as well. Because people pleasing always benefits the other person, and never benefits you. You might think it benefits you because you're okay, if I help this person, and I do this for this person, that gets them off my back, and that makes them happy, so it would make me happy, basically, like, automatically. Like, if I was the type of person that if I did something for somebody, I was like, okay, like, they're good for that amount of time that I've helped them. Now I can go handle my own stuff, but next time that they need me, I'm gonna jump on it again and go help them. I know. I had a lot of people-pleasing issues, people. So I also looked at Mel Robbins. I took her course for a little bit. I watched a lot of her videos as well. So shout out to Mel Robbins. She is an inspiration. If you want somebody that's going to give you that oomph throughout the day, Mel Robbins is my lady. I love her. She always says in her videos to, you know, be authentic, be real, like, tell people how it is. Who gives a shit who thinks what about you, honestly? And when I read about her people pleasing, I was like, oh, even she does it. I was like, oh my god, I'm not alone. Okay. Like, I was so quick to, like, lend people my car, lend people this. I would give somebody my last dollar in my fucking wallet if I could, because I just such a giver. I'm just a giver. I just can't help myself. I just want to give everything to everybody all the time. Like, if you're really nice to me and you're, like, super loyal, you respect me, you, like, you know, we just benefit out of this relationship, I'm gonna give you everything I possibly can. Like, if you need something, I'm there 100%. If you call me, you text me, I will definitely take my shirt off of my back for you. Like, at one point, it was bad. It was really bad. Yeah. I needed to stop putting other people first, because that's another thing of people pleasing, that we constantly put everybody else before ourselves. And, like, I think I stated in my first video, I was so quick to make sure everybody else around me was good, and then finally take care of myself. And doing that, you mentally, physically weigh yourself down like 1,000% more than you would do, like, on a regular Tuesday. You know, like, on a regular day, you know, you get tired, everybody gets tired, but when you constantly work, then you go home, then you do a whole bunch of other stuff, then you're dealing with your private life, then you're dealing with family, then you're dealing with this, and you're dealing with that, and then finally, the last quiet hours of the day, which is mostly at night, you finally have that moment where you're like, you take a deep breath and you're like, oh my god, did I even do anything for myself today? Sometimes I used to think back and I used to be like, oh shit, did I ever, like, do whatever it was, or do this or do that? If I had something planned for myself and I would forget, and I would be like, oh my god, I didn't do any of that, great, now I have to push it off, and now I have to go help somebody else, and now I felt like I was obligated to, like, I owe people in life. And one thing I learned is you don't owe shit to nobody. Like, literally, you owe nothing to anybody, like, at all. Like, if I could say that a million times and get that tattooed on me, I would, but I'm not going to. But yeah, you don't owe shit to anybody. You're not alive to please anybody. You really aren't. You're not alive. You were put on this earth for a purpose. And no matter what that purpose is in life, if you feel like it's helping people, if you feel like it's being by yourself, and it's feeling like you want to hate the world, whatever you want to do, fucking do it. What's stopping you? Listen, I wanted to make this podcast for the longest, and I was sitting on my ass not doing anything. Bullshit. I was doing stuff. I, like, work 2 jobs and, like, live independently, so there's that. But I mean, still, at the end of the day, like, if you want something, you want it that bad, you'll go get it. Like, I kept saying, like, oh, I'm gonna do it, and I kept putting shit into the world, and I was just like, yeah, I'll get to it eventually. And I was just like, you know what? I need to, like, stop fucking around so much and actually get on my shit, because nobody else is gonna do it for me. I keep watching, like, you know, Mel Robbins, Jay Shetty, so many other people, Joe Rogan. I mean, the list can go on. I mean, I'm drawing blanks right now from the podcast that I watch. Oh, To Be Better podcast, so good. If you've never, it's about a couple. If you've never heard that podcast, you should. Who else do I listen to? I listen to a lot of podcasts. Oh, Gary Vee, that's good as well. Everybody goes to their Gary Vee stage at life. So many more people and influencers and motivators that I follow, and I'm just, like, sitting here and I was just like, they all started somewhere. They all started with a little fucking camera and a little fucking room with nothing else, just them, pieces of paper, and, like, a camera to just record into. And I was just like, you know what? I can do that. I literally can do that. I can do that even on my spare time alone. So why don't I just do it and try to make money from it? It's not about the money though. It's more about finding my purpose and being able to speak to people. Like, if you guys are hanging out with me, like, I don't live a fun life. I work every single day, literally. I don't go out. I'm not a club girl. You know what? Let's get into that. I never understood the whole club scene at all. Like, at all. I never understood why people, like, I get it if you're going out to celebrate and you're going with your friends and you guys have something to celebrate and everything's awesome, everything's great. But, like, going out every single weekend, dude, go get a cleanse. Go get saged, go get a cleanse, go get spiritually cleansed, go get everything cleansed, like, just your life in general, because people don't realize when you're in a room full of people, not everybody has your best interests. Like, you guys can go out and, you guys can go out, enjoy your time, but for me, I'm so spiritually and energy driven that I'm just like, oh my God, if I'm in a room with all these people, I'm like, I feel their energies and I feel like everybody's just like suffocating me, and I just can't be in a space like that. It just takes too much out of me and I feel like I'm drained by that time. So the club's a big no for me. That's a no for me. I'm more of like, I read my books, I stay in my house. I literally go to Barnes and Nobles for fun. Yeah, on my free time, that's what I do. And I go for hikes and walks. Yeah, when a guy hurts you and he starts, the breakup makes you go for walks. Yeah, that's how you know. That's how you know. You're about to, like, go through, like, some spiritual freaking awakening and you're about to, like, have your whole life transformed inside out. It's freaking great, actually. After I stopped trying to please so many people and started putting all that effort and time I was putting into people into myself, whew, baby, that was the best feeling ever, let me tell you. Because once you take your power back, you can remove the guilt, and the guilt can be a good thing. It really can. Like, once you feel like, you know, no, if I say no, it's no. Like, I shouldn't feel guilty for saying no. I shouldn't feel bad that I can't help somebody out, because half of the time I can't help myself out. So how am I supposed to go help other people if I can't help myself out? Like, I'm over here trying to lend this arm, help this person, do this, do that, help people with, like, it's literally my job, by the way. Like, I help people on the phone all day. So when I was done with everything, I'm like, oh my God, did I even help myself? Because I don't even know what I'm doing half of the time, literally. I don't even know how I get through the days half of the time. Yeah, guilt is never a bad thing, though. I always thought the word guilt is always put into a bad phrase that means, like, oh, if you feel guilty, you feel shitty. Like, if I hear the word guilty, I'm like, oh, you feel shitty, like, you did something bad, you did something wrong, like, it's horrible, you should feel like sick to your stomach for even feeling that way. And it's just like, no, you shouldn't, because it's a good thing. It shows that you actually have a fuck to give, and it shows that, you know, you're putting yourself first is a new feeling. So of course it's gonna feel weird. Of course it's gonna feel so out of place. You're gonna be like, what am I doing? You're like, oh my God, nobody talks to me, nobody's doing this. But you know why that's happening? Is because all that energy used to check on people and do this and go be the giver and lend out a hand and do all this stuff. You're literally sitting there like, bro, I could have been giving this energy to me. And when I do that, ain't nobody, like, reaching out to, like, you know, actually give a shit. Like, actually people give a shit genuinely. Like, there's a couple people I know and they know who they are, but other than that, like, I am not with the whole, like, oh, we're gonna sit, talk about your problems, and then that's gonna be it. Like, no, friendship is always a two-way road. Relationships always a two-way road. Everything is always a two-way road. So once you feel like you're people-pleasing, get the fuck out. Get out. Just get out. Get whatever you need. Get your life together. Move away from that person. Take that person out of your life, because you know you're a giver when the receiver is soul sucking you. Like, they literally suck your soul out. Like, all they do is take. And then once they finish you, like in Mortal Kombat, you know, like, finish him. Like, that shit, yeah. I feel like defeated all the time when I give somebody the world, and then at the end of the day, they don't feel like they need to return that back to me. Like, I always feel like I give. I'm such a giver, and then when it's my time to, like, you know, let me ask for something, or let me not try to be too independent. And when I ask people for stuff, it's just like a big deal, and I'm like, I'm like, are you serious? Did you really just act out that way? Okay. I was like, you know what? People pleasing, gotta go. I was like, I can't do that. Talk to yourself. Talk to yourself, journal about it. Shit, I talk into a camera for like 30 minutes. You don't think that's weird? Because I do. I think it's odd. And I do it because I'm getting out of my comfort zone. Because I have to. Because if you don't get out of your comfort zone and you stay in that comfortable little cozy little couch, that little comfy zone, yeah, you're never gonna go anywhere. BTW. Like, by the way, you're literally just gonna stay in the same spot forever because it never lasts. It never lasts. Being too comfortable, it's like sinking into a bed. The more that you lay in it, the more that you're gonna sink, and the more that it's just gonna take over. And like, who wants to live like that? It's kind of boring. Boring, if you really think about it. In order to have the life that you want, you will disappoint a lot of people. And I really felt that because once I stopped with like the whole like feeling like I needed to help everybody and needed to go out and save the day and needed to do everything, I'm like, wait, hold on. Let me take 2 steps back and like realize, what the hell am I doing? Like, I'm basically just giving my soul out to everybody and just like, here, do what you want with it. Like, I don't even care. Like, whatever. I'm surrounding myself around all these people. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm like working crazy amount of hours. And I was like, you know what? I need a mental shut-off break. So that's exactly what I did. I started to go on walks. I started to journal. I went on 5 a.m. runs. If you need like a good like wake up, like, oh my God, I need to wake up and I need something, put like 6 alarms on and then like start going for a run at like 5 in the morning for like a couple miles. And then you come and talk to me. Talk to me after you do that. And let me tell you, your anger and your frustration about everything in life is gonna be like completely out. Like, I see people might go to the gym, like going to the gym is cool. The gym is just like, it takes a lot of time, and I'm more like a cardio girl. I like to run. I can run. She's a runner, she's a track star. Yeah, I can run. I can run for a while actually. Sometimes I be walking too and I be getting lost. I be just walking. I walk everywhere all the time. I'm just, who needs a car when you could just walk? Literally. Put your headphones in and walk. But be careful. Always be careful. Carry something with you. Pepper spray, anything like that. Knuckles, anything, literally. Please protect yourself when you're out by yourself. It is no joke, especially being a woman. You do not want to go out alone and not have protection at all. I always keep at least a pepper spray in my pocket and my knuckles on me all the time. I used to have a pocket knife. Don't know what happened to that, but yeah. Always protect yourself when you are going out for real, because there's no joke out here. Because I've had a couple run-ins with weirdos when I'm going for a run or when I'm starting going for a run. So then I just run my ass back home because I'm like, you know what? Today's not the day, God. You ain't finna get me kidnapped. Nope, not gonna happen. And mind you, I'm 4'11", so I'm very kidnappable. I'm very just easy to snatch. I'm like a kid. I'm like a little kid. You see me, you're like, oh, that has to be a little kid, and it's not. It's a grown-ass woman in her 20s running. Yeah. So in order to have the life you want, you will disappoint a lot of people, and that's fine. The more people get mad at you, the better that is, because they're just stuck in a place that they're mad that they're still in, and you're not. So misery loves company. Misery loves company. People love to bring other people down with them. So whenever you stop people pleasing, you take control back, you take your power back, you're putting your feelings first, now you're the bad guy. And that's fine. Be the bad guy. Be the villain in everybody's story. You know why? Because everybody thinks the villain is supposed to be like, oh my God, we're made out to be the horrible people, we're doing this. But the villain also got a sad shit story to tell, like real sad. Like, it's not always about the hero. The hero goes and saves the day and everybody loves him because guess what? He's people pleasing. He's going to go save the world, and then at the end of the day, guess what he does? Superhero goes and flies back to wherever the fuck he came from and then goes and sits and cry about everything. But then the villain, yeah, he fails. He might fail a whole bunch of times. He might not get up like automatically, but like shit, at least he be talking his shit. He be saying what he needs to say, and he does not care about what anybody else says. So like, being the villain might be it. being the villain instead of the hero might be the story that needs to be told more often, because I feel like once you get your power back, once you just want to feel good about yourself and you want to start loving yourself again, and you want to just feel like, you know what, I can do this shit. I don't need anybody. I don't need nobody. I don't need nobody to tell me what to do, how to do it, when to do it. I just feel like a lot of people think that they need other people to survive. Like, oh, I need this person to get on with my life. Like, oh, I need my mom. I need my dad. I need my family. I need this person. I need my aunt. I need my grandma. Without them, I don't know what I would do. Without them, I wouldn't. Like, okay. So let me tell you this. If I took everybody out of the world and it was just you, what would you do? Think about it. If there was nobody in this entire planet and there was one person and it was you and you were on this earth by yourself, what would you do? You don't got nobody. Ain't nobody here. Everybody's gone. Nobody's here. There's not a cashier person. There's not somebody arresting people. There's not firefighters out. There's nobody in this world at all but you. What do? Guess what? You have to become a one-man band, buddy. You do shit on your own and you figure shit out. So that means you have to become the mayor, the president, the fucking astronaut, the fucking firefighter, the person at the bakery, the freaking person crossing the kids across the school. You have to be the kid. Like, if you gotta be everybody, then do it. Do it. What's stopping you? Literally, what is stopping you? Because you want to please everybody? Because you want to be everybody's people pleaser? Because you want everybody to be like, oh, fuck, like, if I do this, then nobody's gonna like me. Who cares? Who cares? So what? My favorite thing is that I learned, like, I love using this phrase. I'd be like, okay, and tell me something else. Okay, and if that doesn't work, try something else. Okay, and you want to have a pity party? Cool, have a pity party. Have one for like a couple seconds, and then after that, find a solution. Everything has a solution. If you constantly figure out and break shit down the way it's supposed to be done, you would literally find a solution for everything. People get so in their head, and that's why I had to start taking so much self-work on myself, because I was sitting there like, oh my God, like, I can't do this. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, I can't live without this person. How am I gonna go on with my life? Like, oh my God, look at everything that I've done. Look at everything that I've built. What is gonna happen? Like, and I was like, yo, calm down, dude. It is not the end of the world. Relax. Like, I had to tell myself that. Like, I felt like the universe was telling me, like, take a second. Like, my power went out. Oh my God, this is hilarious. So after that whole shitty experience happened to me, the day of, my life literally switched from like, oh my God, awesome, to like, what the fuck, in like 2 seconds. Yeah, my power went out here and I had no phone. My phone was dead. My power went out, and my power was out till 4 o'clock in the morning. And guess what? I had to go to work the next day. I had no phone. I had nobody to call. I was here by myself. No AC. Power was completely shut off. I sat here and I was like, you know what? This is the universe. I'm taking everything. I'm a sign girl. I'd be like, oh, that's a sign. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I literally took that as a sign to chill the fuck out. Like, literally, I felt like the universe was like, bro, take a second. We just removed everything out of your life. Take a fucking second. And I was just like, okay. So I literally, kid you not, I sat on my floor and I sobbed my eyes out, probably till my power got turned back on. 100%. Because I was like, what am I going to do? How am I going to focus? Where do I go from here? What's going to happen to me? Oh my God, the world's going to end. Crying. Oh my God, everything's horrible. Yeah, I thought I was going to die. But I didn't. So, yay for me. Yeah, balancing your needs are such a huge key component of your life. Like, if you don't balance shit in your life, you will feel like the world is just suffocating you and nothing seems right and everything's against you and all odds are against you and everybody sucks and the world sucks and everything's horrible and oh my God. Yeah, balance is key, people. Balance everything in your life. Make sure you have balance. Make sure you have a schedule. Make sure you have a routine. Make sure you're keeping up with shit. Making sure you're keeping up with yourself first before anything. That's the key factor in life, is constantly keeping up with yourself, because if you don't, who will? If you don't take a shower, who's going to take you a shower? If you don't brush your teeth, who's going to brush your teeth for you? If you decide not to go to work, who's going to pay your bills? I mean, unless you do other stuff, then that's on you, Betty. But I mean, realistically, like, what do you expect if you don't get up and go get it? So cut off people pleasing, cut off everything else in life, cut off everybody around you, focus, think about everything that you need to do, isolate yourself, and then go out in a game plan. Figure it out. Because literally all it takes is a second. You need just 1 second of nothing going on. Nothing. So when my power shut off and my phone died and I had no communication with anybody, I had nothing. I was just here by myself with my fucking dog. I sat here and I was just like, I need to get my shit together. I need to figure out what I need to do with my life to make my life better. I need to kill the old me and like revamp myself. Not revamp myself, like have a new identity and do all this stuff. Like, no, I'm still me. I'm just not the toxic me. I'm just not the person that I was maybe even a couple months ago, just because I don't see myself in that form anymore. Like, that's not me. Like, I look at my old self and I'm like, girl, you need help, like a lot. Like, you are not okay. And if you asked me a couple months ago, I would have been like, nah, I'm good. Like, I'm fine. Like, I'm straight. But like, realistically, girl, were you? You weren't. Okay. Okay, another good one. These are my notes, by the way, that I take all the time. And anytime that I'm learning something or I'm watching something or I'm watching somebody else's podcast, I sit there and I'm like, you know what? Write it down. Take a note. We don't live the exact same life, so you'll never understand what anybody else is going through, because each person that is on this planet Earth literally goes through different emotions, different everything, different life routines, just everything is different about a person. I'm sorry, nobody's the same. We all don't feel the same way about shit. We all don't know what anybody else is going through in life. So don't ever turn to your family or friends for counseling. Don't do that at all. Highly recommend, don't take anybody's advice that has not been through, felt you, understands your emotions, like nothing, because they don't live your day-to-day life. They don't understand what it is to be in your body. They don't understand what it is to think the way you think. They don't, everybody's genetics and mind and hormones, everything is different. We're all built differently. Yeah, we might all like the same shit, but like we're literally all different in different bodies. We can't, I just don't feel like you could really, give me that oomph that I need. So go to therapy. I'm gonna keep saying it in every video. Go to therapy. Go to therapy, people. It's not bad. It's not horrible. There's a stigma about if you go to therapy, you're weak and you don't really know what you're doing in your life. No, dude, go to therapy. Stop being the bigger person for everything and stop trying to be like, ooh, therapy's for losers. Like, no, bro, therapy's actually in, and if you're not in it, you're out. So boo for you. Can't sit with us because you're not cool enough. Yeah, honesty is powerful. Saying the word no is powerful. I learned how to say no so many times. It's my favorite fucking word to use. Somebody texts me on my phone and asks me for something. Guess what? I don't even have to respond to you. You know why? Because I don't owe you anything. I don't have to answer back to anybody that calls me. I don't have to text anybody back that texts me. I don't have to fucking do anything that anybody tells me to do, because I take control of my own life. So if you're trying to make decisions for me, you're going to have to go. You're going to have to hit the road, Jack, and don't you not come back, because we don't want you no more. Because why would I do that? Why would I let somebody else take advantage of my life when I need to take advantage of my own life? I need to put my 2 feet on the floor and figure out this is what I'm doing. This is what's going to happen. Nobody can tell me shit. So if you don't like it, you can just go do your own thing, man, because you don't have to be around me. That's literally my life motto. And rarely anybody understands what anybody's going through. Realistically, no one has self-awareness that much. I can't take advice from people my age that are still living with their parents about having debt or credit card loans or this or all these bills that I have, living independently. I won't go to somebody that lives with their parents and their parents give them allowances and they don't work. You know what I mean? I can't take advice from somebody like that. That's like asking somebody oh, my mom just died, I'm gonna go to somebody that's parents are still alive to go get advice from them. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? They're not gonna give you the advice you want to hear. No, they're not. Why would I go to somebody that's, that goes out with and go ask them advice on how to not be around people anymore? Why would I go to somebody that's a friendly ass person to go ask them how to not be around people? Like, no, it's just, you have to be okay to fuck up. Common sense, people. Be okay to fuck up. Be okay to fuck up. Be okay to just sit in your fuck up for a little bit. Like, guys, I have no idea how to edit. I have no idea how to edit, but I just look it up. I figure it out. I've gotten mad numerous of times because I don't release anything on time. You don't have to get on me on that because I know that already. That's what comes with working a corporate girl job and then trying to have a podcast and have another job on top of that. So people, relax yourselves. That was my little rant for that. Just because I feel like I don't really, I'm so hard on myself to make sure that everything comes perfectly that I feel like the more that I keep trying to be so perfect, the more I'm going to keep fucking up. So might as well just fucking fuck it up, and then maybe people will just like it the way it is, because I keep editing so much shit out because I'm like, oh, people are so sensitive, I can't say a lot of the things that I want to say. But then I think about it and I'm like, God, Kathy, stop questioning everything that you're doing. See? People pleasing. I still do it. Even if I don't try to. I just realized that. Fuck. Alright? Working on that. Noted. Like, dude, to work on that. You don't hang out to trauma dump. Okay? Just letting everybody know that. I don't do that trauma dump shit no more. It doesn't excite me, and it's not. You just, at this point, you're just a victim. If you don't go seek help and you don't go try to go get help and you don't want to go get help, it's a you problem, people. It's a you problem, not a me problem. You could try to be there for people as much as you can. You could try to give people the benefit of the doubt. If they don't want to fix themselves, step out of that person's way and let them go on a crash dummy. Let them get in the car. Let them go do what they're going to do. Let them go be what they want to go be. And you move out of their way. You know why? Because you can't force people to change. And you can't force people to want to be better at all. You can't force people to want to be better, try to be better, want more from themselves. If they want to still be in the position that they were 5 years ago, if they want to still be in the position that they were 2 weeks ago, then that's on them. That has nothing to do with you. So don't ever feel guilty for moving out of somebody's way that doesn't want to help themselves. I've known countless of people that still complain about the same bullshit, about the same 5 sentences, the same story, the same sob story, the same why me, the crying, the oh my God, this is horrible, this always happens to me. Well, something got to change. Wake the fuck up. Do something about it. Obviously, you can change it. You're just choosing not to. Literally. And that's what I feel like a lot of people don't understand, is that once you notice people around you are like, oh, you're like that? How didn't I notice that before? People start dropping like flies around you. Let me tell you. People just, the more I keep evolving and the more I keep growing into a better me, the more friends and family and people and new people, old people, new friends, old friends, the more, it's like a revolving door of people that keep coming into your life. It's just like a big circle. Ooh. And I'm just like, bro, I don't want anything to do with anybody. I don't want anybody around me that's going to suck me dry, and I don't want anybody around me that's going to cheer me on because they want to say congratulations so they can say that they knew me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm good on that. I'm good on people trying to show fake love and trying to show me like, oh my God, you're doing so well, you're doing so awesome. But like, didn't you hate me? Just asking. Like, didn't you not like me? Like, for me, I don't cheer on for, I might like, put into the air like, oh, I hope that person's doing good. But for me, being me, if we had a fallout and I haven't talked to you in years, I ain't looking for you. I don't care what you're doing. I can give 2 shits who you're fucking on. I can give 2 shits what you have going on. I don't even care where you live. I don't even care what your social media looks like. That's how much I don't care about people that I no longer associate with. So I feel like people that constantly ask you like, oh, how's this person doing? I don't know. Go ask them. Go ask other people that I have nothing to do with. Like, I don't talk to a lot of people that I used to talk to, and getting hit up by like people that, ever since I started this podcast, people that used to tell me like, oh, you'll never be anything in life, or oh, you know, she sucks, oh, she's fake, oh, she cuts people off, oh, she's this, oh, she's that. I made a podcast and it looks like all of you guys are watching me now. So thanks for the views, but also keep that fake energy over there because I don't want none of that near me. I feel it. I feel like when it's not genuine. I feel when people are being frauds. I just feel it all the time. I feel the disappointment in people. I feel like people are like, oh, she didn't fail. Oh my God, what is she gonna do now? Like, yeah, be sick. Be sick. Because literally, anytime anybody ever does something to me, I'm like Mario, dude. I like level up. Like I literally like eat a mushroom and I get bigger. Like there's just nothing I put into my head that everything that I've been through in life, I really can't fail. As much as it's tried to happen, as much as I've tried to either not be here or just not wanting to be here or just trying to quit life in general, like there's been moments that I've had like that where I'm just like, bro, I'm gonna throw my hands up, and every time I'm about to, some crazy shit happens, and then my life is just like, nah bro, we ain't done yet, and I'm like, all right, cool, and then I just go again and I go again and I keep going. Like I'm just unstoppable. I'm like the boss that you can't beat, literally. Like it's the confidence, people. You have to be your biggest cheerleader. Like there's nobody that's gonna cheer for me harder than I'm gonna cheer for myself, because the shit that I've put into my mind over the years of growing up and the shit that I've told myself, I'm like, damn girl, you're still kicking? Good shit. I'm like, good shit, girl. You are literally the shit. Like pop your shit, girl. I feel like nobody can take it. I really want to get into this show called The Idol. I think everybody hates it, and that's why I love it, because I'm a huge TV person. Like I love watching TV. I love the whole like getting into shows and like trying to see like, yeah, we get it, it's acting, but like bro, that shit, movies, TV, music, I love a guy that knows anything about music or TV or movies. Like if you can name me that actor in that TV show, you might be the one for me, mate. Just saying. Let me see. The Idol has The Weeknd in it. It was produced by him as well. So shout out to The Week for bringing such an awesome show into my life, because at first I was like, ew, this is weird. It's very sexual. It's very like, oh my God. But if you really think about it, it's about a pop star, basically. It's about Jocelyn. She's a pop star and her mom dies of cancer. She was very sick for a while, and then she has like this mental breakdown where she's not doing too well, and you know, everybody keeps giving up on her and she doesn't know where she wants to go in life, and you know, she is in the eye, so she's trying to be famous and trying to please everybody and trying to do this, but then she also doesn't know how to take care of herself. So after watching like the first 2 episodes, I think, because I think there's only like 5 and they're all like an hour long, I highly recommend going to watch it. It's on Max. It's not HBO anymore, but it's Max. You can watch it on there. But I feel like The Idol shows what a lot of girls in general just feel like, trying to impress people and trying to put on a show for everybody and trying to do this and trying to make everybody like her and trying to do this. And then when you have a mental breakdown, you're the crazy one. You literally get called crazy just for helping everybody else. Like in the show, she's putting everybody on. She's doing this, she's doing that. She's helping people get money. Like without her, a lot of people wouldn't have jobs. So like I sit there and I'm watching the show and I'm like, you know what? Even though this is based off like a whole famous person, like average people on a day-to-day, we go through the same fucking shit. Like girls literally try to impress guys all the time. They try to get girls to like them. They try to be the center of the attention. They try to dress nice so they can get the most likes. They try to do this. They try to do that. They try to go on social media. Who can make the cutest videos? Who could do this? What clothes should I wear? Should I wear a little bit more slutty shirt? Should I wear a little bit shorter skirt? Like it's always about something. It's literally always about something. So like seeing it from a girl's perspective, I think that's why people find it a little bit odd, because it's like, oh my God, look at all this weird stuff. Oh my God. But literally that's what a girl on a day-to-day puts herself through. Like we are so hard on ourselves as women that we need to be so perfect. Like there was a scene, when was it? I think it was like the 2nd episode. Anyways, I think it was something like that. And she couldn't get the choreograph to get done correctly. Like, she kept doing the video over, take after take after take, and then the more takes that she did, the more she kept being more hard on herself. Like, I gotta get this perfect. I want this way. I want this that way. And that's how I kind of feel with my podcast. I'm like, oh my God, I'm crying here. I'm like freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, I can't figure this out. What am I gonna do? Everybody's gonna hate me. Oh my God. And when I saw that scene, I was like, oh my God, I'm doing that. Even though like it's not interpreted in the same way, but it kind of is, because I'm like feeling her emotions. Like, I felt how hard she was being on herself, and I'm like, bro, I am such a perfectionist that I feel her pain. Like, she took off her shoes and she was bleeding. That's how I feel like internally. Like, I feel like I take my brain out and I feel like I'm bleeding everywhere, because I'm like, bro, I am so tired that I can't even function after the time. But I'm like, hey, I'm gonna do it. Like, when she got back up, she's like, no, I can do it again. Let me get one more perfect take. And that feels like with me, with my podcast, every take, I'm like, no, I can do another take. I can do another fucking season. I can do another episode. I can do this. I can do that. I can try to make more content. I can try to do this. I can try to, but literally when I'm done, my brain shuts off. Like, I can't try to push myself anymore. Like, I will literally have a mental breakdown and make myself go crazy if something's not perfect. So people can say that The Idol is bad. People can say, I heard it got shitty reviews. I mean, it got a 20% on Rotten Tomatoes and it got a 5 out of 10 on IMDb. So it's not the best. People are not vouching for it the way that I thought they would, but I feel like he's trying to show something that a lot of people don't want to actually tell the truth about, especially in the music industry. Like, women are made to be a sex icon. Like, women, how many women have we had in the music industry that just were put to put their tits out or make music about their fucking whatever, or having sex or this or that? Like, everything was about glorifying women's bodies and doing this. So like, now he makes a show about it and now everybody's mad. Should we talk about Blonde, the one with Anna de Armas, I think that's her freaking name, the movie about Marilyn Monroe? Like, I couldn't even get through that movie, and I'm a movie fanatic, and I couldn't even get through that movie. I mean, I finished it, of course I had to, but like, another prime example, Marilyn Monroe, a sex icon. Like, we're constantly putting women on pedestals to be sex icons, but when a guy makes a TV show about it and they're very proud about their show, everybody shits on him because he's The Weeknd. He literally makes songs about having sex with women. What are you talking about? Like, he is literally a sex icon, or a man. So why get mad about a show that's trying to explain what goes on in the background of being a woman with mental health issues, being in the industry, having a guy take advantage of you, have all these other different people in the shows that play a big part of other people's lives? Like, if you really sit down and open your mind up a little bit, you would actually see that the show's not horrible. Same thing with Euphoria. I don't know why people think that show is horrible. I don't know why people think that show is so like, oh my God, it's glorifying schools and all this craziness, and oh my God, and high school teenagers doing coke. Yeah, that's really what goes on, people. That is literally what goes on in regular high school. I mean, back when I was in high school, which wasn't that long ago, that shit was happening in high school. People were drugged out. People were popping pills. People were doing nut shit in high school. So like, now that it's on a TV screen, now everything is bad. Everything is bad. Nothing's good. Everything is like, oh my God, we have to cancel this. It's like, no, this is what real shit that happens to teenagers. All of this shit actually happens. Like, this is not made up stuff. Like, if you watch The Idol, there's a 17-year-old girl in there that got picked up from the guy. I'm not gonna go, I don't want to spoil anything, but now I am. But there's a girl that's 17 and she got taken by him, who's obviously an older person. Like, that shit really happens in real life. And I feel like people don't really want to be like, you know what, this is a real fucking good show because it's honestly telling real shit. Like, you don't have to always cancel everything, people. You guys don't always have to, you know, shadow everything from everybody else's eyes. Like, I can't watch it. Then don't watch it. Turn it off. Turn it off, because there's some people out here that actually like shows and that actually have an open mind and actually are not too closed-minded and want to actually put the word out and show everybody that, like, this is what it is. This is what life is. Life is for fuck-ups. Life is to Like, that's a prime example. Like, The Weeknd got bashed for The Idol, bashed completely. Lily Rose Depp, bashed for her acting in there. Oh, she could have done better. What? I thought she was a shit. I was like, follow automatically. I saw her acting. I literally went on social media and I was like, and you're Johnny Depp's daughter? Follow. Like, are you kidding me? Like, get out of here, man. I can't even. In Euphoria, what was it? A girl going to rehab? Are you kidding me? You know how many girls I know that went to rehab? Rehab, doing coke, a transgender person. Like, come on now, people. This is all real life. We're in a century that's like so beyond our time that everybody's trying to, like, I feel like, close it up. Everybody's trying to make it into this perfect box, and that's why everybody wants to themselves. Couldn't say that online. I knew that I couldn't say that. Or they're just depressed, or they don't want to do anything with their lives. Everybody's unmotivated. Nobody wants to do anything anymore because if you step out of the bubble, you're considered canceled. 100%. If you do something that's not, like, fitting into the line, like, oh my god, you're nuts and you're crazy, you're doing all these horrible things, like, I'm sorry, when did the world become so sensitive? I'm just wondering. When did me and my friend were talking about that, because I sent him something from, like, my memories for like 7 years ago, and he was like, bro, if I still had that type of, you know, I don't know how to say that in English without saying, like, it in Spanish, but, like, have that thing about them that it's just like, oh my god, I have such dark humor, and they can't make comments anymore, because if they make a comment, they're gonna be like, oh my god, they're canceled because they said this, or they did this, or they made this, or they posted this, and it's just like, oh my god. Do you guys ever get tired of, like, judging other people, or no? Is that a full-time gig? Because it must be. Do you get paid very well for it? Because you must not, because you're still doing it for no reason, because you probably don't get paid, unless you're a fucking journalist. I mean, go ahead, by all means. If you work in, like, that industry in journalism, please talk all the shit you want. You literally get paid for it. Compete. Oh, I'm better than you in this. Oh, I'm better than you in that. Oh, I can do this better. Okay. Boring. Tell me something that I don't know. Tell me, okay, you might be better at me than that. Yeah, cool, that's great. You found your passion, now go run with it. Why are you telling me? Why are you trying to rub it in my face? Go do something. I don't care what it is, anything. And I feel like that's what people's main problem is, that they are so quick to go throw into somebody else's face that, look at all this cool stuff I can do. Okay, go make something out of it. Why are you putting it in my face? I'm not a hater. I want to fucking support you. I want to be there for you. I want to fucking see you at your highest potential. But if you're just going to keep throwing it in my face that you're doing all this amazing stuff and this is happening, this, and it's just like, all right, dude, are you trying to tell me so you can get kudos and validation for your ego, or are you trying to hurt my feelings because I'm not in the same position as you, so you want to kind of rub it in my face, so you want to feel like it's a competition, like, ooh, I've done all this great stuff, look at you still down here, like, I can't be around people like that. And that's how I personally, this is all of my own perception. This has nothing to do with anybody. This has nothing to do with facts that I've read anywhere. No, this is literally all self-experience. I am nothing. Well, I am something, but I'm nothing like, you know, I'm not a guru. I'm not a life coach. I've already said that numerous of times. Like, take my advice, don't take it, listen to me, don't listen to me. I could really care less, because at the end of the day, it worked for me, it might work for you, it might not work for you, who knows, unless you actually give a fuck and try it out, people. You can't be scared of everything. Literally, I think failure is the funniest thing ever. I think failure, you're supposed to fail. If you don't fail, you never make it, literally. If you do not fail countless of times, if you don't constantly get no's and can'ts and won'ts and all these negative freaking words, you're never gonna actually hear that one yes. You have to constantly get put down. You have to go through war. You have to. You have to go to war with yourself. You gotta go to war with everybody on the planet Earth to be able to get what you want in life. And that's fine. There's gonna be some people that are gonna help you. There's gonna be some people that are not gonna help you. There's some people that are gonna talk shit about you. Who cares? Go and fake support somebody if you don't genuinely have good intentions for them. If you feel like you're going in with a motive, go ahead and log out for me, baby. Go ahead and do that, because I can't have that around here. I really can't, because it's just put ourselves through. We're constantly trying to find and figure out a way to either please everybody in this world. We're trying to seek validation. We're trying to get that satisfaction of being told, like, you're amazing, you're so great, you're awesome. And I don't look for that, because once I started to tell myself that every day, even if it was a shitty day, even if I wanted to break everything in my house, even if I was on my last 2 freaking hours of sleep of the day and I was done and I didn't want to do anything and I was telling myself every negative thing, I was just like, wipe your tears, girl. You got work to do. You got a lot of work to do, and you've been crying for like 2 hours, bro. You gotta hang it up. You gotta hang it up. You gotta get to work. You gotta get on your shit. You're slacking. Congrats to you for feeling these emotions, but it would be a congratulations once you get everything done. Like, it really would. And that's what I used to tell myself all the time. Like, girl, you have to put in this work. There's nobody else that's gonna do it for you. And I've told myself that for years, on top of years, on top of years. Anything that I wanted to do in life, if that means if I wanted to play an instrument in school, if I wanted to be in this class, if I wanted something, I made sure I went and got it. Like, I made sure I had it on me. I made sure I was good. I made sure I was taken care of, because even with friends, like, I never wanted nobody to do anything for me, because I didn't want you to throw that back in my face. I didn't want you to feel like, oh, I did this for her, so she's gonna come seek validation from me because, oh, remember when I helped you with that? And then people be like, I'd be like, for real? Like, what do you want me to do? Thank you? Like, oh my God, you're amazing. Like, you want me to praise you for you doing something for me? Like, as friends or as relationships or anything like that, I would think that that's just something out of human decency that you would fucking do out of the kindness of your heart. And I hate when people tell me, my biggest pet peeve, people always tell me I have a big heart. People always tell me I have a big heart, and one thing I hate when people tell me that is, I know I have a big heart. You don't have to tell me. I know I have a big heart, but one thing I hate that my big heart does is that it constantly gets taken advantage of. I constantly sit here and I'm constantly like, damn, bro, like, I shouldn't have did that. Or nah, like, I went too overboard. Like, oh, I did this, or oh, I did that. Like, if I care about somebody extremely, like, hard, like, oh my God, I will go to World War III with you, man. Like, I would. And that was a big factor of my people pleasing that I needed to work on. I needed to work on that so hard, because I constantly was saying, like, oh, well, I'm not a people pleaser. I don't do that. No, I'm just a giver. Like, it's the same shit, girl. It's the same shit. A giver, people pleaser, anything you want to throw a new name on it, call it what you want. It's still the same shit. If you don't find acceptance within yourself, you can't go find an acceptance from anybody else, because you're literally going to feel like, oh, like, do they genuinely mean that? Is that actually, like, you think I should? Like, if you have to constantly question yourself, like, should I do this? Oh, let me go ask this person. Or let me do that. Or let me do this. Let me do that. Go sit down. Sit down. Take a second. Sit down and take a second and, like, think for yourself for once. Because if you constantly, I say this all the time, look for approval everywhere else, you're never going to approve for your own self. You're not going to prove for yourself. You can't just get the stamp and go and be like, oh, well, so-and-so said I was good at it, so that must be I'm good at it. Do you believe that you're good at it, though? Do you think that's your purpose? You think that's what you're supposed to be doing in life? You think this is what's going to get you going? Really? Because you could be shitty at it, and this person's lying to you, and they just want to see you fail. I mean, let's call it what it is. Let's really call it what it is, because there's a lot of people out in this world that claim that, oh, I want to see you do your best. I want to do all this. I want to help you. I want to thrive with you, all this other great stuff. But then whenever you tell them something and then it's like not so good and you don't feel good about it and you're like, shit, like, do they really got their best interest for me? Like, are they? Because a real friend is going to tell you what it is and what it ain't. Somebody's going to tell you, like, girl, go change that shirt. That shit is ugly. Or, boy, that guy fucked your haircut up. You need to go get a new barber. Like, that's what friends are supposed to be for. Like, those are the people that you want in your corner. Those are the people that you want in your life that are going to be like, yo, that shit that you just dropped was horrible. Like, it was like, I don't even go seek people's approval for my videos at all. I don't like go and run and be like, oh my God, watch this. This is great. This is awesome. No, because I'm watching it myself and I'm like, bro, if you don't like it, you don't fucking like it. Take it out. Like, if I don't like something that I do, I'm literally going to take it out, or I'm going to edit it, or I'm going to fix it, or I'm going to do whatever, because I'm like, why would I go ask somebody else's opinion when I'm the one making this? I'm literally Freddie, Sam, and Carly all in fucking one person. I wish I had that school fucking remote that Sam had. It's like the blue one, and then you press it and it like makes a whole bunch of noise. I had one when I was younger, and then I don't know what happened to it. Sorry, my lips are getting dry. Lip gloss break. I should put like elevator music right here for my lip gloss. Yeah, I hate how bad I used to people please. It was bad. I used to do it everybody in my life. I was so quick to go save the day, but I wasn't saving myself. I'm looking at myself in this iPad reflection. Yeah, putting yourself first is such a new feeling. I like went manic here by myself, and I was like trying to figure out like what am I doing with myself. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, ooh, this is all weird for me. I'm like, ooh, like I didn't want to, like I was walking around like very cautious. I'm like, but then I like started to get this oomph in me, and I was like, you know what? It's really like fuck everybody. That's just how I feel. Whoever wants to be around me can be around me. That's just how my attitude is. People that know me very well know that I support and I love the people around me, and I thank them every day that they have supported me on this journey that I'm currently going on. But if it's really like outside my little baby circle that I own, like my circle is very small. If you're outside of there, I could really give two shits about what you have to say about me. Like if we don't talk recently, if I haven't talked to you in months, if I don't associate myself with you, if I don't hang out with you, if I don't text you, if I don't call you, baby, we ain't friends. We is not friends. We might be acquaintances, but we ain't locked in. Let me just tell you that. We're not besties. I don't consider people. If you can go out of my life for a certain amount of time and you don't want anything to do with me, you no contact my ass, cool, man, you can go on to the next. But when I make it, don't be hitting up my phone, trying to come chill with me and try to come see where I'm at, because baby, this phone's gonna still be on do not disturb, because I do not want to be disturbed by anybody that does not have good benefits for me, that doesn't want to see me succeed, because we're constantly always saying like, oh, support each other, but really ain't nobody supporting each other. It's literally a man-eat-man world out here. Everybody's just going for themselves. It's literally like, I can't remember what I was hearing or something. I can't remember what it was, but it was like somebody told me one time like, oh, it's like we're all crabs in a bucket and we're all trying to get out, and we're all just one on top of another, and we're all taking each other down to be able to get out of that fucking bucket. Yeah, dude, if you're my friend and you're in the bucket with me, we're helping each other get the fuck out of the bucket. That's how I feel. But if you're not and you don't have my best interests, bitch, I'm stepping over you and I'm gonna get myself out of the bucket regardless, with or without you, because I don't have time for people to not want better for themselves, but also not want better for me and not want better for our relationship. Because at the end of the day, for two people to come together, you both need to succeed separately. You guys both need to find yourselves. You guys both need to go on a spiritual journey. You guys both need to, if that's friendships, if that's relationships, if that's family ships, that's anything in your life, if you feel like you and that person are no longer clicking, you need to go separate, go do what you have to do, go no contact with each other if you guys want, do whatever you need to freaking do to be able to get to that point again where you guys can actually, if it's real and if it's a bond that's meant to stay, it will come back. But if it's not, leave it alone. Leave it alone where it's at. Don't bother, don't text, don't call, don't look for that person if that person ain't looking for you. Always return the same energy back to people, because if you continue to people please and you continue to try to make sure everybody else is okay, and you try to make sure that, oh, well, I have to do this, or I have to check on this person, or this has to be done, or that, you're literally just going to suffocate yourself in your own head. Your mind is just going to get wrapped up in everything, and you're just going to be like, dude, like, I feel like the whole world is on my shoulders and I have nothing like to carry it with. Like, it sucks when you feel like that. It sucks when you feel like your friends are not your friends, and it sucks when you feel like your family isn't your family, and it sucks when you feel like you're doing so much for everybody in the world and nobody gives you that in return because you're not giving it to yourself. Not saying that nobody ever did anything for me. I'm just saying that I didn't love myself and I didn't give me that energy in return. So I was giving it out to everybody, and I was just like, you know what? Somebody got to change, and it got to be this bitch, because if not, people would just continue to take advantage of me, continue to use me, continue to talk about me, continue. And I was just very like, you know what? I'll let it slide. I'll let it slide. I'll let it slide. I'll let it slide. But then, you know what? Now I don't even argue with nobody anymore. If you do something to me and you give me a weird vibe and you're giving me that like, ooh, I'm not really like messing with you vibe, but I still want to keep you around, baby, I'll pick up on that. fast and you will be out of my life in 2.5 seconds. I promise you. Because we is not, in 2023, you know what we're not going to do? We is not going to be around nobody that ain't for us. We're not going to hang out with people that are not for us. We're not going to be in relationships with people that are not for us. We won't even surround ourselves with family members that are not for us, okay? Because when you want to succeed in life, you have to have a group of people that want to support you. You have to have a group of people that want to see you do good. When you're having a bad day, they're going to tell you, yeah, you're having a bad day. Get up on your shit, dude. Get up on your shit. Because the bad days are actually the best days. You know why? Because the bad days that I be having, I be getting the most out of those days. Because I be so, like, upset at myself and so sad and so, like, wanting more for myself that it just drives me to go even more harder. Now, I'm not saying, like, my good days are not always good. Like, when I have good days, they're kind of boring, though. Like, when I'm having really rough days, I feel like it brings out another, like, oh my God, another hunger out of me. Because I'm like, bro, I can't keep doing this. I don't want to be in this position anymore. What can I do to change my life? What can I do to have a solution for this? I can't keep putting myself in this big circle of nothingness that is never going to go anywhere just because the people I'm surrounding myself with, what I'm doing in my life, how I'm handling my stuff, I'm not taking control correctly. Like, once I got everything kind of, sort of in line, because I'm not fully, like I said, no life coach over here, but once I felt like I kind of got my life to that point where it's just like, okay, I'm struggling a little bit. I'm still trying to, like, I'm riding my bike and I'm trying not to fall, but, like, I'm doing it. But I also feel like it takes a little bit of a oomph to, like, get to that point. Because sometimes I want to, like, just not do a lot of things. And I just want to, like, sit and cry for a while. And I just want to, like, be upset at myself. But then I just can't. I can't do that. I can't do that because if I do that and I just wallow in my sadness, nothing is going to get done. You literally, people think, like, oh, if you're depressed, just, you know, lay down for a little bit. Just take some time to yourself. Yeah, do that. Don't do it all the time, though. If you continue to put yourself in a depressive mind state, everything in life is going to be negative for you. Your life is going to be negative. The food that you put in your body is going to be negative. Your life, in love life, relationship advice, friendship, family, anything that goes on in life, it's just going to be going to shits. Literally. And do you want your life to go to shits? I don't think so. I wouldn't want my life to go to shits. And then this book, super good. The Language of Letting Go. So there's, like, days in the weeks. Well, obviously there's days in the weeks. Why the fuck would I say that? No, there's days in the book that you can look at. So we're in July, unfortunately, already. July 5th. It says survivor's guilt, because we love, literally, guilt. The word guilty. I just talked about it. Queen, literally. Okay. We begin recovery. We begin taking care of ourselves. Our recovery program starts to work in our life, and we begin to feel good about ourselves. Then it hits guilt. Whenever we begin to experience the fullness of the joy of life, we may feel guilty about those we left behind, those not recovering, those still in pain, and those survivor guilt is symptoms of codependency. We may think about the husbands we've divorced who is still drinking. We may dwell on a child, grown or adult, still in pain. We may get a phone call from a non-recovering parent who relates his or her misery to us. We may feel pulled into their pain. How can we feel so happy and so good when those who we love are still in misery? Can we really break away and lead satisfying lives despite their circumstances? Yes, we can. And yes, it hurts to leave behind those we love, but keep moving forward anyways. Be patient. Other people's recovery is not our job. We cannot make them recover. We cannot make them happy. We may ask why we are choosing for a fuller life. We may never know the answer. Some may catch up in their own time, but their recovery is not our business. The only recovery we can truly claim is our own. We can let go of other loves. We can let other go with love and love ourselves without guilt. Today I'm willing to work through my sadness and guilt, and I will let myself be happy and healthy, even though someone I love has not chosen the same path with me. So, with that being said, literally a full circle moment. By the way, this is Language of Letting Go, Daily Meditations of Codependency by Melody Beadle? Beta. I think that's how you say her name. Anyways, it's about codependency. You know why? Because I have codependency issues. That's what therapy teaches you people, that you have codependency problems. And I learned that. So with that being said, I feel like we're too scared to move forward in life because we're so scared of our past selves and the people that were in that lifestyle with us, that if we move forward, we're always questioning, like, what if this person was here along with me on this journey? What would it feel like? Or, damn, I wish I can call this person and tell them how great I am doing now, but they're not doing so well, so I can't do that. Or, damn, like, I wish I could talk to that person, have a good conversation with them, and just tell them, like, oh my God, like, I wish you were here with me. I wish we were, like, succeeding together. But then they might take that as a defense mechanism and might feel like you're competing with them or anything like that. And with those people, you honestly just have to kind of bury that and let it grow into whatever it's going to grow into, because if you don't continue to move on with your life, you will never see your potential. You can never see how successful you could be. You can never see new friends, new lovers, new anything that comes into your life to teach you a lesson. I just feel like we constantly are feeling that guilt as something bad, and it's not a bad thing. People pleasing and everything that has to do with trying to get validation and not having self-awareness and just not understanding what you're doing in your life and feeling you're like a little bit lost. And that's fine. Everybody feels like that. It's supposed to feel like this. It's supposed to feel uncomfortable. You're not supposed to have the same friends you've been having. You're not supposed to be around this person that you've known your entire life. You're not supposed to be with that boyfriend that you're with forever. You're not supposed to. A lot of things are going to change to make you uncomfortable, because it's the universe telling you, like, hey, like, you need to change. Something needs to happen. And if you don't, you're going to keep getting those lessons over and over again. You're going to keep getting them in front of your face, regardless of what anybody thinks. If you don't change your life, it's just going to keep showing up in different forms constantly, all the time, no matter what it is. You're just going to keep going through the same cycle, and then you're going to keep having the victim mentality of saying, like, this is going to be me for the rest of my life. Oh, why me? Poor me. What am I going to do? Like, if you would have woke up like the 6 other times that the universe told you, like, get your shit together, and then you would have got your shit together and you wouldn't have such a victim mentality. But since you are doing that, you're never going to change, and you're never going to figure out, like, who you are and who you're meant to be and what's going to happen. Yeah, you can't predict the future. Yeah, you don't know probably what you're going to do tomorrow, but damn well I know what I'm going to do in like 5. Give me like a couple hours and I could tell you a whole life plan I might have, and then that shit might change tomorrow. Like, it's just the fact that once you take control of everything that goes on in your life and you stop people pleasing, you start putting yourself first, you get rid of that guiltiness of feeling that you owe people in this world and that you need to give and constantly give your last out until you can't anymore. And that's not how you should live your life. You should be able to live your life, give to people, but still move on and still be like, you know what, I helped you, but that's my first and my last time doing that. Or I can do this, but this is going to be on my time, on my terms. This is what I need in return for you as a friend. Like, anything down the line, if I like, it's just like a contract with anything in life. Like, if you want me to be there for you, I need you to show up for me 110%. Then, as much as I'm putting in for you, you need to back me up more too, because it's not fair that people pleasing gets put into a form that it's just like, oh, it's just when you're like being super nice to people. Like, no, it's not. People pleasing comes in all different forms, literally. Everybody does it. Don't be ashamed of it. It's fine. We do it all the time, no matter where we go, what we do. You might say something, you might wear something, you might look at this person this way, you might do this action might have this reaction to it. Anything that happens, it's constantly about people pleasing, because everybody goes into the world and everybody wants validation. Everybody wants to be seen, and everybody wants that, okay, bro, you're doing good. Like, you're doing your shit. Like, pop off then. Like, no, bro, tell that shit to yourself. Tell yourself every day. Be like, bro, I'm the fucking shit. Why am I? Yeah, I might be lonely a little bit. Yeah, I might get a little rough. You might not have people in your corner anymore. Yeah, I might feel like, you know, shit, ain't nobody supporting you. But, baby, when you make it, shit, there's gonna be a million people around the world that can't wait to see you, that can't wait to be in your presence, that are gonna tell you that you saved their lives, that are gonna tell you that you're amazing. And all you have to do is literally start. That's all you have to do. Start by stop people pleasing. Start fucking putting everybody before yourself. Stop and start actually putting your feelings before other people's, actually understanding. Sorry, my nose itches. I have a nose ring, guys, so it tends to itch a lot. Ugh. Oh, I'm tired. You know why I'm so fucking tired? Because I work every day, and then I do my podcast, so there's no excuse. And then I edit for like 3 days. I edit for like so long because I'm such a perfectionist, and I think it needs to be like super, super perfect, and it doesn't, people. Nothing needs to be perfect. You're never going to figure it out, and you're never going to know what you need to do next. But the one thing that you can do, stop people pleasing. Stop people pleasing and put yourself first. Putting yourself first will be a new feeling. Stop the guiltiness. Never feel guilty for doing shit that makes you feel good. If you going out and not talking to anybody for a whole day makes you feel great, do it. If you talking to this person and talking to that person and you want to be in a relationship with that person, go ahead, do it. Who cares? We are not alive to please these motherfuckers, people. I don't know why nobody understands that. I mean, I didn't, but now I'm trying to feed into everybody that that's what we need to do. If everybody starts thinking and having that mindset of like, yo, like, why am I doing half of this shit? Like, once people start waking the fuck up, I swear there's so many creative people out in this world that this entire fucking earth would probably be filled of crazy, creative, out of this world type shit that nobody would probably even think of doing, because it could be that one person in like San Francisco that's sitting in like a studio right now, crying his eyes out or her eyes out, trying to figure out how she's gonna make ends meet, trying to figure out how she's gonna pay his or her rent, trying to figure out all this stuff. And they could literally be a genius just waiting to bloom, and they don't even know it. Like, that's the crazy shit about everything in life. Like, you drive next to somebody, you don't even know what that person does for a living. Like, you don't even know what that person has in store for themselves, and they don't even know what they have in store for themselves. So it's just like crazy to think that everybody in this world literally has a purpose, but nobody just has found their purpose yet. And that's fine, and that's okay. You don't need to rush into it. Everything takes time. I don't even know half of the shit I'm doing half of the time, and I'm fine with it. I literally sat down and wrote all my bills down yesterday. I looked down and I was like, oh, holy shit, how am I gonna do all this? Guess what? Gotta work harder. Gotta work harder. Then that's all I can do, and I'm fine with that. Because as long as you're okay with putting yourselves in hard situations that are gonna make you uncomfortable for a little bit to be able to get to that comfortability that you want, do it. Do it. 100% do it. If you don't do it, you'll never be satisfied in life, because you have to be uncomfortable to be able to want to get to that comfortability of being successful and having everything that you want. Because even the most successful people, they want to get to that uncomfortable position. They want to fail. They want to be able to lose. They want to feel what that shit feels like to be like coming from nothing and having that rough patch and not having shit to your name and just nothing. Like, they want to have that hunger. So that's why a lot of people put themselves in positions that they do, to be able to feel that pain, to be able to feel that hunger. Because pain, baby, that hurt makes me go crazy. Hurt makes me want to work harder. Hurt makes me want to just, people hurt my feelings, you'll never find me in the same position that you left me at. 100%. And I love that saying all the time, that when people hurt you, you never let them see you at the same position that they left you at. You always become better all the time. So, every single time. With that being said, thank you for watching Out of My Mind, the podcast. We covered a lot of good topics today. Today is my solo episode. Tune in next week for an interview with a special guest. I'm not sure when this video is dropping, so don't, bite my head off, because a girl got a life of her own that she lives, and I'm trying to, figure out how to incorporate this in my everyday life. So we're baby steps, people. We're working on it. But thank you for tuning in. Love you all. And this is just, I'm pretty shocked of how well this has been going. So thanks again for watching and liking and subscribing, and follow me on Instagram as always. And thank you for watching Out of My Mind. Tune in next week for the wonders I got. I have no idea who I'm gonna have, but we'll figure it out. We'll get to that point. But thank you for watching, and that is a wrap for Out of My Mind, the podcast.